I think a lot of times we want to look smart so badly to look like we justify our prices and all that stuff.
And I think that it comes from law school trying to prove yourself
Mm-hmm.
all the time. Like we're always trying to prove that like we
belong here. I'm not an imposter.
Yeah, even when you're in court, you're like proving to the jury, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm here for a reason. Like
Yeah, no,
it's just
totally.
that gets ingrained in you right when you start law school.
And we lose, and so when that happens, you lose sight of like why we're doing what we're doing. And so those big cases that have come through our doors have been, the lady at the Chinese restaurant who was a waitress we always just talked to, like, and asked about her kids and blah, blah, blah. And so those are the cases that have come through our doors. They came out of just being really respectful and kind to everybody and giving our card out and telling them if they ever need anything. And they will call us. And even if it's stuff we do not do, we always point them in the right direction to where they'll get the best representation, the best service at a good price, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
And so, talking about kind of your backgrounds into law, I know, Sarah, you started with the lovely law firm kind of right out of law school, which was great.
Yeah, I was lucky.
Yeah. But Amy, you and Justin, I know you were ahead of Justin a year in law school. And so you were kind of already working when Justin got out and you guys started the practice right away. Tell me about what that was like, because that's kind of an untraditional route.
So
what did you have to learn through that?
So in law school, after my first year, I interned at, I'm from North Carolina, Justin's from Tennessee, we went to law school in Virginia. So everybody was asked how we ended up in Myrtle Beach. And my parents had a house here, and I had met Greg Hembry, who was the head solicitor at the time in Horry County, and he offered me an internship. And I came, and all the lawyers were so nice. That's why I ended up staying, because I really liked everybody I dealt with. Everybody that came through that courthouse and the judges and stuff were just really, it wasn't that adversarial grind. And I also wanted to be near the ocean, so it just worked out. And I kind of made the life decision for us that we were going to be at the beach. And so I worked for an attorney for right at a year. And Justin came out of school, and it was during the recession after 2008. And because that's when I got out of law school and passed the bar. I started in 2008. So nobody was really hiring after that. I knew I didn't want to work for anybody anymore.
Yeah. So
I wanted to have my own thing, and Justin's an incredible partner to have, not just personally, but also in business. And so we opened up shop. We rented a 10 by 10 office. We shared a desk. We each had a chair on each side of it, and our dog. And when he would meet with clients, I'd go walk around the block, and the opposite for me. And then if he was trying a case, I'd sit second chair and help him in any way I could. Sometimes that was just like stapling stuff, and sometimes that was taking witnesses, whatever that looked like. And, we just grew it. And we just always tried to stay true to, we really wanted to help people and do the right thing. And then if we could do all that, we just figured the rest would follow.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Because Andrew can test. Like, imagine just passing the bar and being like, all right, here I go. Yeah. And what I've learned from Justin is, Justin will read like 1,000 books. Okay, so you think you're gonna stop? I'm not reading after law school and after the bar exam. No, because that's where all the answers are. I've learned everything from them, but also I'll have a question, and I'll ask Justin, and I'll come back the next morning, and there'll be 4 books on my chair. If you want to know how to do this,
don't ask Justin if you want to know, or do.
You need to read it. And so it's just, just to think about him coming out of law school and you with your limited experience for a year.
I remember
and just being like, all right.
So you're going to try your first case. You're like, and start reading as fast as you can.
Try a case
Opening
for dummies.
Yeah.
You got a highlighter, and you realize you've highlighted every page and every line.
That's how they built this whole thing, which is just to have this conversation about what you don't learn how to do that in law school. And so they really did have to teach themselves and then teach the rest of us what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
It is crazy, and it's inspiring.
Which is why, and Sarah does this too now, when we see new lawyers, we automatically go to them and say,
it's going to be fine.
It's going to be good.
I'm praying.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I have templates if you need.
Right. We have templates for everything. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. And if you have questions, you can always call us.
Yeah.
Always bounce stuff off of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that business mindset that you're talking about, kind of Justin having, is something that kind of applies to every field, what you don't learn in school is kind of how to run a business. Any school, I feel like that applies
that's
to.
where law firms fail. It's not that people aren't great lawyers. There are some amazing lawyers out there, and they're just not good business people.
Right.
And they definitely don't teach you how to run your own firm.
Right.
That should be a class.
Right.
Just like we now have a financial responsibility class in high school. They should teach you. That should be a class in law school.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's their goal, though. It almost seems like it a little bit that they want to get as many people in like the bigger firms as they can. But it's almost like I think it would help the school's rankings, and it's like, oh, we have so and so many graduates.
Now with the top tier big
1 year
law
out of
firms.
school, we have 60% of our graduates 1 year out of school are making this much at this big firm, and I think that's like
It's a statistics game.
Yeah.
The thing is like, and granted, we're 15 years at a law school in practice. All of my friends that went into, we call it big law in lawyer school land. Lawyer school land. I always called it lawyer school because it just didn't sound as pretentious when I said it, right?
Yeah.
Sound more warm and inviting and not as, I'm smarter than you. But when all my friends that went into big law, there's not a quality of life. When you have to get this exorbitant amount of billable hours, where do you fit in having a baby, right?
Yeah.
Or where do you fit in having a life or children or a husband or like, I don't know, karaoke. I don't know, whatever you like to do, golf. You just can't get to
I
there.
always joke with my friends in big law that I'm the reason they have a job, because there is no big law if there's not little law out there suing people and trying to do justice.
Yeah.
Those jobs don't exist. Insurance defense firms and transaction and stuff, they don't exist without the plaintiff's lawyers or family lawyers or criminal defense lawyers really making a scene.
Couldn't imagine representing, like you're talking about earlier. It's like, oh, you broke your neck in a car accident. Well, sorry, I'm just gonna say the insurance company only values your ability to walk at this much money.
Yes.
That is a
I
hard
could
job.
not imagine doing
Insurance
that.
defense attorneys. Like, I
And
don't
that's a joke, but big law big law doesn't exist without the rest of us here to give
Hold
them
them accountable
to give
and
them
make 'em
problems
hustle.
to try to solve.
Yeah.
When life gets ugly, justice is love.